odds market.
I'm Dave Best. Fashion.
This is Theo Goodman.
All the tools to be among that few that win.
I'm Stuart from Tipster HQ.
My name's Jay Baglia.
Taking the best price in the market.
Hey guys, Xavier.
Some call it gambling.
Here to bring you the best political betting tips.
It's the booming industry of professional gaming.
Odds Market, Sports Bet Daily.
Bankroll management over at Odds Market.
Oddsmarket.com. We are Oddsmarket.
Watch us.
Introducing now Russ Yershon, writes our darts content over at Odds Market, and went 2-3 last week. So very interesting to see the tips he is going to bring up for us today. Russ, how are you doing? Not too bad, not too bad. I have been following your darts coverage. I'm very excited. This is the first time we've actually sort of spoken about your sort of darts picks here. Obviously, we head into weeknight, the final before Judgment Night on Thursday. How has the tournament been for you so far? Obviously, we've been tracking your bets, 2-3 from last week. What are you making of the whole tournament?
Oh, look, the Premier League of Darts is fantastic. 16 weeks, 5 games a night, 9 of the best darts players in the world. Plus, there's a team of contenders, which is where one of the up-and-coming players plays because Gary Anderson had to pull out right at the last minute. So it was quite good by the PDC to do that. So it gives these guys a chance to play Premier League action. It's been great. Look, Michael van Gerwen, the world #1, he's got beat a couple of times. So that's meant the likes of James Wade, Rob Cross, Gerwyn Price have managed to keep themselves in amongst the top 4, which will obviously head to week 16 and then obviously into the playoffs at the O2 Arena. So it's been really good fun. The crowd absolutely love it. They go up and down the country in the UK, and then this week they're over in Holland, in Rotterdam. So the likes of Michael van Gerwen and Raymond van Barneveld will get huge support from the Dutch, and they absolutely love darts.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, because obviously it's always a question at the beginning of any sort of darts season. Can anyone dethrone Michael van Gerwen? And he has slipped of late. Anybody holding a futures ticket on him right now, should they be worried? Or is there somebody who can dethrone him?
When it comes to playoff night, Michael van Gerwen is always the one to beat. That's why I think he's 1.73 to win the Premier League. He will be guaranteed to be in the last 4, which means he'll be big favourite to lift the crown. But look, absolutely, Rob Cross, winner of the World Darts Championships the year before last, he's in good form. And the up-and-coming guys like Gerwyn Price, James Wade's been around, he's playing quite well. Mensur Suljovic is putting in some good form at the minute. So look, come finals night, if they can click and hit their doubles, they've got a chance.
Yeah, just looking at obviously some of the odds here for Wednesday. Michael van Gerwen 1.57. Is there any meat on that bone? Would you play that at 1.57, knowing that he's been a bit slippery of late?
No, it's the right price. He's playing Peter Wright, who, funny enough, is the draw specialist at the minute. I think he's drawn 4 of his 7 matches, so he could keep it quite tight. Maybe there's a bit of value on Wright on the handicap, but no, for me, I'd leave that. Van Gerwen is worthy favourite. He's a lot better than Peter Wright, and I'm sure he will get back to winning ways, especially with a home crowd giving him that extra support.
All right, so maybe one for accumulator bet, that 1.57. Obviously, Raven van Barneveld is he's pretty low to be. Let's have a look. I just pulled out some outrights here to finish bottom, 1.22. Is there any chance he can avoid elimination in front of his home crowd?
Look, absolutely. He's playing Daryl Gurney, and if he beats Daryl Gurney, and then on the following night can take another win, he can survive by the skin of his teeth. But Raymond van Barneveld, he said he was going to retire at the end of last year. He's carried on into this season's Premier League. He's in poor form. He looks tired. And Daryl Gurney had a fantastic win last week over Michael van Gerwen. That's one of my picks for this week. Daryl Gurney to beat to beat Raymond van Barneveld. I think I think he will. Daryl Gurney's coming into a bit of form now. Again, he's one of the young pretenders to the throne in a few years' time when obviously Barney does retire. I just think Barney will need to be on really top form to have any chance, because Gurney's just picking up a bit of form and he wants to stay in this competition. He wants to try and make that top 4, which he can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, obviously, in your article over at Odds Market, you've given us 3 picks. What's the one that you're going double stake on? Do you have a best bet?
James Wade against Dimitri van der Berg. Dimitri van der Berg is a young up-and-coming darts player. He's one of the contenders. So, as I said, every single week of the Premier League, one player gets picked to play against one of the 9 players that are part of the Premier League. He plays James Wade. James Wade 2.2. James Wade lost last week, but he's beaten Michael van Gerwen. And when he's on form and hits his doubles, no one will beat him. And I think odds against James Wade will be looking at this and thinking, look, if I can get a win to stay in that top 4 come week 16, then heading into the playoffs, I think he'll be quietly confident he can win this. And yeah, for me, that's a good pick.
Yeah, and definitely some value as well. Again, you're going Rob Cross here, the favourite 2.05 with Bet Fred. Again, very good prices that Week 8 is offering. Yeah,
look, these two, Rob Cross, Mensur, Suljovic, are the 2 most informed players in the Premier League. Rob Cross has won 4 on the spin. Mensur Suljovic has won 2 on the spin. It will be close, but I think Rob Cross is just playing that extra bit better than Mensur, and I think he can get it done. I think 7-5, 7-4, they'll be my picks. It will be close, but I just think Rob Cross will get the better of Suljovic when it comes down to the final legs. Rob Cross has really shown his nerve when it comes to hitting those doubles, and you need to hit them to get the legs in the bag to get the victory.
Yeah. What about you? Are you holding any tickets on outrights at the moment that you took in the beginning of the season, or is there any value that we could look on right now?
I think Rob Cross is the value. I didn't play the futures anti-post prior to the Premier League purely because Michael van Gerwen was so short, and at the start of the Premier League, Rob Cross wasn't in form. He's the one that's probably closest to Michael van Gerwen in terms of challenging. But Rob Cross, I think, around 6 or 7, he's definitely worth the punt, because come finals night, as he proved 2 years ago, winning the World Darts Championship, he can deliver the goods.
All right, nice one. And odds as well of so you're basically on the outrights, Rob Cross 15.
Wow, that's extra value. Yeah, he's definitely got a big chance of winning that.
Really? Wow. And obviously heading towards on Thursday night, are the odds out? Is there anything like any sort of like early leans that you have?
It's a shame. Odds Checker and the other sides, they're not releasing odds. So I think everyone will wait until after Wednesday night's action to then showcase Thursday night's odds. So there could be a couple of leans, but without the odds, I wouldn't like to say, because it does depend on what happens on Wednesday night. Some players may take it easy on Thursday, knowing that they're definitely through, whereas obviously the likes of Barneveld, Gurney, Michael Smith, who finished runner-up last year, he's now sitting second from bottom. He's the one obviously near the danger zone, so he needs to perform on Wednesday night to make sure Thursday night is a comfortable evening for him. Yeah. But it's going to be an absolutely fantastic 2 nights of darts in Rotterdam. I said the fans, the atmosphere will be brilliant. It's great to watch.
Yeah. Well, I was actually going to ask about Smith as well. Obviously, a second last year. What's happening this season to see him, almost being eliminated?
He is carrying an injury. So a few nights during the Premier League, he has struggled. And when the guys play weekends and then travel up and down the country Wednesday night to play Thursday, sometimes it does have an effect on them, even though they've been doing this for a while now. And I think Smith has just found it a bit tough to go from weekend action to Premier League action. And again, the competition is so fierce now at the top of the Premier League of darts. He just needs to get his act together. And it's 12 legs. And as soon as you lose your throw, it can be difficult to get it back. And again, you can lose just by the odd leg.
Yeah. Yeah. In a minute, we will be bringing on Whale Kappa to discuss the Miami Open. But until then, I've got to quickly ask you, just moving. Well, actually, no, the first question I really wanted to ask you was, I know that you obviously go to a lot of matches. Next week, we're going to hopefully get a little bit of footage from you from the Monday and Tuesday football games. This one obviously will be in the O2 Arena. Will you be going to any of these? Like, the atmosphere just must be, I've never been. But one would think that it's a pretty crazy atmosphere.
Yeah, darts is fabulous. I always go to the World Darts Championships in December at Alexandra Palace, London. It's phenomenal atmosphere. The fans dress up in whatever costume you can think of. It's great to see, and it's a phenomenal atmosphere. I would be hopeful I'll go to the finals night, which is, I think, the third Thursday in May. So I look forward to that. And as you rightly say, next Monday I'll be at the Emirates for Arsenal versus Newcastle. So, yeah,
yes,
I'll
you
try
will.
and do some content from there. It will be a good game.
Well, listen, let us quickly end off with, because I just spoke with Martin Green. We had a recap week 31, looking towards week 32. Arsenal host Newcastle. He sort of obviously pointed out that Manchester United have had trouble scoring against Arsenal. They have been this season known for their leaky defence. It seems that they could be tightening things up. Flash likes to say when you're on the telly there's going to be goals. Martin is liking Arsenal and the under 4.5 goals. Which way would you lean? What are you expecting from the match? Do you have any early picks?
I think Arsenal will get the job done. The only slight concern is obviously the squad that aren't on international duty. They're away in Dubai. They're playing a game tomorrow, actually. But they're in Dubai on a sort of some hot weather training. And again, it can have a detrimental effect when you come back and play once you've been in the warm weather. But I think Monday night, under the lights at the Emirates, Arsenal usually beat Newcastle convincingly at home, and I can see them doing so. I would say Arsenal and over 2.5.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Premier League punters, the team minus 4.5 is usually one of my picks. But again, there could be plenty of goals here, so I'd probably want to go the opposite way, go either Arsenal and over 2.5 or over 3.5.
Yeah.
Because Newcastle are playing well. Newcastle are playing really well.
Yeah.
But I just think Arsenal will probably get it done.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I said Arsenal in the over 1.5 goals. You get that at the moment for 1.61. There is a little bit of meat on that bone. So yeah, that's what I was looking at. But obviously we will be airing Premier League punters on Wednesday. Russell and Flash will be joining me. We'll be breaking down each of the 10 fixtures. But once again, Russ, thank you very much for joining me today. And please do go check out his weekly darts preview articles over at oddsmarket.com. Russ, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks, Nat. Enjoying the show.